Hey everyone, and welcome back to a Dropified video training tutorial. In this huge video, I'm going to show you all of the things you need to know about Shopify and SEO so that way you can get your store out there and get some organic traffic working for you. Now, the things I'm actually going to cover in this video, I'm going to be going over what SEO actually is, why it matters. I'm going to go over what affects your SEO scoring and what you can do to make sure your site is set up for as much success as possible with the little control that you have, so that way search engines start taking notice and start pushing you up the scoring charts. Additionally, I'm going to go over a little bit of an exercise on how to identify keywords for the products that you have. Then we're going to take all this information that we learned and make a product listing as an example to show you how all of this information works together. So what exactly is SEO? For all the beginners out there, this may be a little bit dense of a concept. So what SEO stands for is search engine optimization. It almost means exactly what it sounds like. It's optimizing your websites to rank in search engines when these search engines go out and scrape websites for data and keywords, so that when a user searches a particular word or phrase, the search engine can return a list of relevant search results, and this is called organic traffic. So if a user searches one of these keywords or phrases and they go to the site by themselves, they're not advertised to, that's called organic traffic. So SEO is going to help you in organic growth rather than paid growth through advertising and marketing. And so again, this video is going to show you how to build these keywords in your product listings and sites so that way you can start ranking in Google and other search engines. Now, how are these sites ranked? There's a lot of them, but here are a few that are really important. Number one is the number of links pointed to your store naturally that aren't paid for. So this includes shout outs, articles written about you. Whether it's good or bad, it's a direct link to your site. So that way, as people start talking about you and linking your store, you're getting more clout and you're getting more authority attached to your link and your domain. So that way, Google and other search engines start saying, oh, a lot of people are talking about this. Maybe we should put this higher up in the list. So another way that sites are ranked is authority based on engagement and other factors. So if people are on your site, they're clicking links, they're sharing pages, they're commenting, they're buying things. Google's going to take notice that people are sticking with your site after they click on it, and they're going to say, hey, people are engaged with this, people are enjoying what they're doing on here, let's start giving this a higher rank. So you can see how getting links from other sources get people to your site, and then once they're on your site, they stick with your site and continue engaging with your content. So another factor is age of domain name. So new domain names won't have a ton of link equity or backlinks because they're new, people haven't linked to them yet. So having an old domain name doesn't exactly guarantee that you're going to get pushed up the rankings, but if you seek out a domain name that's been abandoned, that had link equity, it will help you rank because those existing backlinks are still associated with it. So if you buy up that domain name and it's old and it has a ton of backlinks, you're going to be paying a premium, but you're also going to have more history with that. So it gets pushed up the charts a little bit faster, but it's really up to you if you think it's worth it. And lastly, which is the most important, is website structure and content that is optimized for search engines. Now, this is the only thing that you have a ton of control over. While you can buy an old domain name with some link equity attached to it, the biggest thing you have control over is structuring your website and making content optimized for search engines. So that's basically what we're going to be covering in this video. We're going to see how you can set up all of your content to make sure that it gets ranked as highly as possible within search engines after your site is indexed and scraped for data so you can start getting some really organic traffic. Okay, so we stepped away from the computer for a minute to do an on-paper exercise about figuring out keywords that work for your products. Now, if you get inside the head of a customer and you think about what they're doing when they're searching for a product, they're getting descriptive. Now, keywords essentially, when talking about them in SEO standards, come down to, and this is going to be a little bit of an English lesson, adjectives, nouns, and adverbs. So anything that is descriptive when describing a product or the product itself is considered a keyword. Now, one thing that Shopify uses in their blog is blue suede shoes in Canada. So when you're thinking about the keywords in that, it's going to be blue suede shoes Canada because it's a proper noun, shoes, and then blue suede is describing it. So it's the descriptors, it's the nouns, it's the proper nouns, it's anything in particular that can be used to describe a product or just be a product. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do this on paper exercise to show you just how you can start thinking about keywords in terms of your products and what kind of keywords can go with them. I'm going to do something that's a little bit tougher if you think about it. So today our example is going to be something very simple and very helpful that a lot of people need, that everyone takes for granted, and that is paper. Now you might be thinking, why paper? Paper is super boring. You might be thinking, how can you possibly describe paper? What are the keywords you can find for paper? Like, it's paper. But let's really get into this now. So I'm going to write paper, big letters, on my page so you can see paper. Now, where do we go from here? Well, we have to think about the different types of paper. So we can go into types. There is craft paper, printer paper, photo paper, construction paper, and so as you can see, that's 4 different keywords right there that we can use to describe our paper that we're selling. So what if we go even farther? So let's take construction paper, for example. Let's make an arrow and put it here. Construction paper comes in a variety of colors. So let's say, how do we describe construction? So let's say we are selling bulk, like a bunch of construction paper. We can say bulk. We can say, since it comes in colors, we're going to write colors. We can say red, blue, pink, green, or we can say assorted colors if we're selling a variety pack of colors. So that's 5 more keywords right there, including bulk. We've got 6 more. So here's where things get interesting. Say you are looking at printer paper. We're going to put this down here. Printer paper. And so we got printer. Paper. So printers need paper, but there's a variety of printers. So what kind of printers are we talking about? We can say Canon printers, HP printers. And so you see, you can start saying in your product descriptions, this paper is for Canon printers, HP printers, all the different printers that there are. So you can start seeing that something as simple as paper has a variety of different keywords that you can attach to it based off of what you're selling. Now, another thing people might not be thinking about is, say you're buying craft paper in bulk, because artists use a lot of craft paper. How do you describe craft paper? So let's go to a new page. And we'll start at the top here. So let's say again, craft paper. How do we describe it? We can say it is brown, white, cream colored. But like we were saying, artists use a lot of craft paper. So what if you want to sell them in bulk? How do you describe that? Well, we can sell them 50 pounds. So weight. 50 pounds of it, 100 pounds of it, whatever you're actually selling, you can use. But you can start seeing that if we're taking all of this different information, and let's add a little bit more to printer papers really quick. So we can say size 8.5 by 11. So if we're making a product listing for our printer paper, what are we going to say? Well, we've got all of the pieces right here. So we can say example. The title of our product listing could be printer paper for HP printers, size 8.5 by 11. So what we've done is we've taken something as simple as paper and we've made a product description so that if a customer searches printer paper, HP printers, 8.5 by 11, or printer paper for HP printers size 8.5 by 11, we've created a product listing that meets all of those keywords in such a simple phrase. So we can do that for pretty much anything else. So we've got our craft paper example yet again. Let me move this down. And so again, we can look into this and our example product listing could be brown craft paper bulk 50 pounds. So if someone's in the market for 50 pounds of brown craft paper, we've made a title that fits that bill. Now, just because we don't use all of these keywords in our product title doesn't really matter, because if we can actually go in and pack our description with even more keywords, so that way if somebody gets even more specific, our keywords are going to show up because they're in the product description, and I'm going to show you how to do that in just a minute. So that way, if somebody's looking for photo paper, or they're looking for red and blue construction paper, they want pecan green, or they just want a variety pack, we can do the same thing. Bulk construction paper, assorted colors, 50 sheets, or something like that. So something as simple as paper can be described in a variety of ways just by sitting down and brainstorming how you would describe it. So now what we're going to do is go back to the computer and we can put all of this into action. So now that we're back at the computer looking at Shopify after doing our keyword exercise, I'm going to show you a few different things that are baked into Shopify that help just streamline SEO just by using Shopify over other stores. So one of the best things about using Shopify is that it has a bunch of tools baked in to maximize SEO. So all of the themes have keyword generators baked in based off of your titles, your collections, your store name. So if somebody types in your store name, it's more likely to rank in the page rankings because Shopify has optimized it that way. They also require all themes to have social media built in, and I'm going to show you that in just a minute. So let's go to our store. So I'm going to go to Online Store in the left-hand menu from the Shopify dashboard, and I'm going to go to Customize. And so our store is called Beast Mode Menswear. We've got a lot of Seattle Seahawks fans in the office. And essentially, so Beast Mode is going to be a generated title. That's the name of our store. So that's going to be a keyword when you search our store. So we've got all of these different collections. So we've got Beast Mode Modern Collection, the Head to Toe Pack, the Featured Collection, our newsletter. Essentially, all of this is going to be scraped for data because of Shopify, and it's going to create keywords based off of all of it. So let's check out something else that's really cool. Shopify's themes have social media buttons built in, so that way you have to do very little work to actually add social media links to your page. So that way if somebody wants to share your collection or a specific product, they can do that super simply. So let's get into that. So let's go to Theme Settings, and we're going to go to Social Media right here. And so here's where you can type all of your different accounts to link. So you can link your Snapchat, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, Facebook, Google+, Tumblr, YouTube, all of these different options. And then once you set these up, you can add pins, tweets, and share buttons right onto your store super simply. It's very, very easy just to set that up really quickly. Highly recommend doing that to increase SEO. So the way Shopify works is it basically has set up these stores in a way that it complies with a lot of SEO standards of 2020. There aren't any old legacy things like iframes. Everything is set up in a way that makes it easy for search engines to scrape the data, so you don't even have to worry about that. But now let's take everything we've learned and go and find a product and make a description and add all of our different elements that we've talked about and add it to our store. So now that we're back at the Shopify dashboard, let's go find a product we want to add to our store. So I'm going to go over to AliExpress. So now that we are in AliExpress, let's find a product that we want. I'm going to stick with the theme of paper, and we're going to see what we can do with that. And I'm going to stick with the first thing that comes up here. I really like this sparkly paper. Let's add it to our store. All right, so we've got all of this here. And so what we can do is, now that we've looked at it, we can add it to our store. So I'm going to send it directly to my store right now. Let's go view it in Shopify. Okay, so let's get rid of that default description and let's look at this title. So we're going to use our SEO practices and figure out what keywords accurately describe this product. So we've got all of this sparkly paper. And so as you can see, this title's kind of clunky. It's 50 pieces set, square origami paper, single side, shining, folding, solid color papers, kids. This is a title that, while it does jam-pack keywords into it, it's not very helpful for a customer because they look at this and they're just like, they're just trying to take my money. This isn't specific enough. We need to get really granular here. And remember, just because we don't use some of these keywords in the title, we can take them and put them in the description later so we can continue describing our product in a way that makes sense and is clear to the customer so that they feel good making a purchase instead of looking at this and just being very overwhelmed by all of the words that are organized in a way that make no sense. So let's get rid of this. Oh, it's even longer. I'm going to copy and paste this in here just so we've got our keywords. So I'm going to call this sparkly origami paper, assorted colors, 50 count. So now we've made a title that accurately represents our product, and I'm going to add bulk here as well. So now we made a title that makes it so that if somebody searches sparkly origami paper bulk, we've got sparkly origami paper and bulk. So we've matched all of those keywords that they've searched. So then if somebody searches assorted color origami paper or 50 count origami paper, we've gotten all of these keywords right here. So we can go even farther by making a product description that has a ton of keywords built in. And it also can make sense. So we can write a description that says this sparkly and shiny origami paper is perfect for folding for all of your arts and crafts needs. This pack contains 50 pieces and is only sold in bulk, not as single items. So as you can see, in just these 2 sentences, we've added keywords for sparkly, shiny, origami, paper, perfect, folding, arts and crafts, pack, 50 pieces, bulk, single items. So we've got a ton of keywords right there, and that's only in 2 sentences. So we can start getting really creative with this, and we can start being very descriptive. We can also say assorted colors include, and we can say pink, green, blue, yellow, purple, and orange. So as you can see, we've got keywords for all of these, and I know I'm getting a little bit repetitive here, but I'm just trying to really get it across how just a little bit of effort can really start adding a ton of keywords to your descriptions and titles so that you can start charting when people start searching for specific keywords and phrases. So if they search pink origami paper, green origami paper, blue, assorted colors, pretty much anything, you're more likely to trend because you've got these keywords built in. So one thing that Shopify lets us do is we can go in and edit the alternate text. So if there's somebody with visual impairment, or the page doesn't load correctly, or it's just more descriptive, we can change the alternate text of photos so that we can describe what is happening, or in our case, what is displayed in the photos. So we can edit our alt text, and for this one, bulk, sparkly, shiny, origami paper for arts and crafts. And save. And we can do that for all of them. So this one, a pack of shiny and sparkly origami paper with pink at the front. And so you can start going in for all of the different product photos you have, so that way you can start adding keywords to all of these as well and get more descriptive about what is shown in these photos. And so essentially that's a pretty simple example of how to take a simple concept, think of all the keywords you can possibly do, and make titles and descriptions that fill them with keywords that also aren't jarring to your customers. Also make sure you press save, and that way you make sure that all of your effort was not for nothing. Everything is saved and ready to go. And then the last way you can load keywords into your product listings is by adding specific file names to each of the photos you upload. So that way, instead of just having random characters and numbers like some cameras tend to do, you can have specific keywords that are built in. So if you go to add images, you can choose files and make sure that when you're naming files, that you add specific keywords, accurately describe what's going on in the photo, so that way that information is being scraped too. It's very simple, but it's very effective. So if you've ever gone to a search engine, you probably have seen a title and meta tag, but you might not know what it's called. So let's go and search Shopify, for example. And so as you can see, this is the title, so it's called Shopify, and then the meta tag is right here. Now this one's a pretty complex one because you can search results, you can log in, you can do pricing, you can do all these things right from the meta tag. But here's an example of a more simple one. So you've got the Shopify homepage, and then this is going to be the meta tag. And so if you want to edit your title and meta tag, what you can do is go into Online Store in the left-hand menu, click on it, and then go to Preferences. Now this is going to tell you to use less than 70 characters because any longer and some titles might get cut off depending on the search engine, but we're going to call ours Fine Menswear for the active and formal beast mode men's wear. So we've got all of these different keywords built into the title right here. Fine, menswear, active, formal, and then our name, Beast Mode Menswear. So now we can start editing our meta description, and we can say Beast Mode Menswear is your one-stop shop for all things formal and active for men's clothing. Shop today to find the best deals you've ever seen. So now we've got all of these keywords. We've got Beast Mode menswear, one stop, formal, active, men's clothing, shop, best deals, and so we have that. So now if we want to save our title and meta description, we can just press save. Now you can also do this for individual products. So let's go back to our product from before. And we can go down to it. And we can scroll all the way down. And right here, you can see you can edit website SEO. Now, right now, it automatically brings the title at the top, the sparkly origami paper that we set up at the top, and then our meta is going to be the description that we set up. So we can edit that if we want. So I'm going to get rid of this part. And so you can always change the URL. I'm going to leave mine because I'm happy with it. And then when you're happy with yours, just press save. So that's basically working with all of the different tools and features in Shopify to help you rank in the SEO rankings. In a separate video, I'm going to show you how you can upload your sitemap.xml to Google, so that way you can ask Google to index your site and really get your keywords in the system so that you can start ranking quickly and you'll start showing up in more search results if applicable. But thank you so much for watching. This one's been a pretty long video, but I really appreciate you watching if you've made it this far. If you like the video, I worked really hard on it, so please be sure to leave a thumbs up on it. If you want more content like this, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to make sure you never miss an upload. And if you have any questions or requests for videos, you can always leave them in the comments down below, and we will try to get to them as soon as possible. But thanks so much for watching. Again, I've been Riley with Dropified. Have a great rest of your day.